Hi there, I'm Amy Thedinga, and I'm super excited to be covering oral health with you today. One of the things I love about essential oils is that it looks at the whole body and how the systems function together. So when I say oral health, a lot of people will think about teeth and gums and flossing and brushing, which is a really important part, obviously, of oral health, but there's so much more to it. And actually, the mouth is the beginning of our digestive system, so it's pretty important to keep that clean and healthy. But there's so many things that you can do with essential oils to help the mouth stay clean and healthy and well. So I'm going to start with the outside of the mouth and the lips. And one of my favorite things to do with chapped lips is to use Correct X. So Correct X is an ointment that contains several essential oils in it. It's very healing. And so whenever you have chapped lips, you can just use that as an ointment, or even it's kind of glossy, so you can use it as a lip gloss or a chapstick. Some of us have had the experience where we get a little tingling around our lips and we know what's coming. And my favorite oil for that is Melissa. So you can just put it on the spot when you first feel that tingle, and you have nothing to worry about after that because nothing ever appears. Now, if you do have any irritations around the mouth or the lips, you want to use any of the oils that we are mentioning here. Again, a favorite is Melissa. Probably my second favorite for that is On Guard, just to put a little on your finger and put it neat on the area where you feel that tingle, and you will be very pleasantly surprised. So moving on, obviously we spoke about brushing teeth. doTERRA has some of the absolute best toothpaste that I have ever used, and everybody that uses it, every customer that uses it just raves about it. It's the On Guard whitening toothpaste. So one of the things that I love about this toothpaste is it is non-toxic. It doesn't have fluoride in it, but it is whitening, and so you get the benefits without the toxicity, and that's really, really important to me, and also I know a lot of my customers. You can use it twice a day, and it helps keep your mouth clean and fresh and healthy. Speaking of On Guard Protective Blend, it is in a toothpaste, but you can also use it as a standalone. And there's a couple ways that I love to do this. One of the practices that I use On Guard for is with oil pulling. So oil pulling is a holistic, Ayurvedic actually practice where you put about a tablespoon of oil in your mouth and you swish it around for about 20 minutes and then you spit it out. And that might sound weird and gross, but it's actually very, very cleansing for the mouth, and it helps get in between the areas that your toothbrush and even your floss can't reach, and it helps lend a very healthy, clean mouth. So the way that you do this, like I mentioned, you take about a tablespoon of oil. A favorite of mine is coconut, mostly for the flavor and also some of its properties. You can also use sesame oil. And then you put a couple of drops of On Guard in with the oil, and you switch it around for 20 minutes. Other oils that you can do this with are Melaleuca. It's very, very cleansing. You can do it with just straight clove oil. You can do it with peppermint, which is very minty and refreshing. And you can really, there's no limit to what oil you can use if you prefer it, if it's approved for internal use. You just swish it around for 20 minutes and spit it out. That's one of my very favorite uses for essential oils and oral health. Another thing that I love to do with essential oils is to keep all of my toothbrushes and mouth devices clean. So what this looks like is if you have a mouth guard or if you have a retainer, you can fill a little glass cup of water and put 5 or so drops of On Guard in there, and you can soak your mouth appliances, whether it's a retainer or a mouth guard or something that you put in your mouth. You can keep it clean that way. You can do the same thing with toothbrushes. So you want an individual glass cup for every single toothbrush. You don't want to be soaking everybody's toothbrushes together, but you would just put in 5 or so drops of On Guard and swish your toothbrush around and let it soak. You can also put On Guard straight onto the toothbrush before you put the toothpaste on and brush for that nice clove and cinnamon taste is really great to refresh and clean the mouth. One of the great uses for essential oils in oral health is when you get irritations on the inside of on the mucous membrane of the inside of your mouth. Clove oil is fantastic for that. It actually is very, very numbing, and it's also healing. So we use clove not only with irritations inside the mouth, but also anytime you have dental work, it's fabulous to help ease discomfort inside the mouth as well. So the way that you use that is you just put a drop on your finger, or you could use a cotton swab and just rub it on the area that you're feeling discomfort. Speaking of discomfort, myrrh is fabulous for irritations inside the mucous membrane as well. Myrrh is very healing and calming and comforting to the skin and the mucous membranes. A fabulous use of essential oils for oral health is we can't forget about our little babies, because we all know, anybody who's been a mother or taken care of small children knows what kind of misery they go through when they are teething. So a great use for essential oils is helping those little guys have some comfort. And it's super simple. The way you do that is just dilute a little bit of lavender and a little bit of white fur, also diluted, and just rub it along the jawline for comfort for little guys, little ones when they're teething. So for those of you who like to use a mouth rinse, I'm going to give you a recipe for a DIY mouthwash with essential oils. So you just want to take 2 teaspoons of sea salt and dissolve it in warm water. And then you can just kind of add whichever oils you want to that, as long as they're approved for internal use. And you'll know that if it has the supplement facts on the bottle. So one of my favorite recipes is 5 drops of On Guard, 3 drops of clove, 2 drops of melaleuca, and 5 drops of peppermint. And you just kind of swish it around in a glass cup or bottle and take a swig of it and swish it around and spit it out like you would mouthwash. So that's a great use for a lot of mouthwashes have ingredients in them that we don't want in our mouth. So that's a really great use to be able to have natural options to keep your mouth fresh and your breath fresh. Speaking of fresh breath, one of my favorite products to carry around in my purse are peppermint beadlets. It's a single serving of essential oil in a little bead that you can just pop in your mouth, and it instantly freshens your breath. And if you don't have the beadlets, you can actually just use the straight essential oil. It's a little strong, but it opens up your whole nasal area and freshens your breath and just gives you that kind of awake, minty, fresh feeling in your mouth. So we started at the lips and we went back through the mouth, and if we end up at the throat, we can't forget about the practical applications of essential oils for a healthy throat. So 2 ways that I like to use essential oils to soothe the throat. One is with a teaspoon full of honey and a couple drops of lemon essential oil. So you can just take that in your mouth, and it's very soothing balm, kind of coats the throat. Another is to make your own throat spray. So a great throat spray recipe is just a little bit of water, about 1 ounce of water in a glass spray bottle with about 5 drops of On Guard, 5 drops of melaleuca, and 3 drops of clove. And you can just spray that on the back of the throat to help keep it healthy and also soothe it. So I hope you've enjoyed and found all of these tips and tricks useful for essential oils for your oral health, and I hope you'll put them into practice to have a healthy, happy, natural mouth.